Yesterday we began a theme that we should really speak about for a while. That's the subject of Noseh Be'olim Chavero, which means, you listen to the recordings, they were broadcasted already from yesterday, actually feeling somebody else's pain. Not theoretically, feeling it and then doing something about it. Meaning being proactively involved in assisting somebody else in their time of need. Being proactively involved in assisting somebody else in a time of need is a very, very hard thing to do because of what we call today commercial chesed. Am Yisrael is very blessed. We're a nation of chesed in a way that Mikam Chai Yisrael, it's unreal. And I always give examples of Israel because my heart really lives in Israel, even though physically I have to be here. But it's not like America is lacking. America has equal, if not more, because we're just a larger and wealthier population. But the things that I see going on sometimes when on my short visits to Israel and organizations or different causes that I'm affiliated with blow my mind away, literally blow my mind away. One of my examples that recently, not that recent, about 6 months ago I saw, I was driving with a gentleman who was nice enough to pick me up from the airport and give me a ride to Hashem Baruch Chay's Keva. And Miron's a far drive, it's like a 2.5 hour drive from the airport, and he voluntarily gave me the ride. But he made me a condition that on the way he has to make 4 stops. Now, beggars can't be choosy, right? Guys giving you a free ride is still better than going on a bus and or paying $200-300 for a cab. So I said, fine, stops. Listen to what beautiful stops he made. He stopped in 4 different army posts or bases, whatever you want to call them. They're not really bases, they're kind of temporary places. And in his trunk he had cartons and cartons of cigarettes and bags of candies. And he went from soldier to soldier and asked them if they smoked, and if they said yeah, he gave them cigarettes, and gave them all gum and candy and I don't know, whatever's popular right now. And the first one, fine, I thought he was a nice guy. But by round number 4, I saw that this is a way of life already, right? Most of us don't keep boxes of candy in our car and cases of cigarettes. Definitely not for healthy reasons. And I began to wonder what this is all about. So when I started interrogating him a little bit, he said that he was a yeshiva boy, and he had the zchut to be in yeshiva his whole life. So he never served one day in the army, rightfully so, because he was doing something so much more important, learning Torah. But at the same time, these kids had the fear of death in front of their eyes for 3 years straight, non-stop. In America, we don't even relate to what that means. We don't understand it. The closest thing to an example that I can give you is, I hope it never happened to you and it should never happen, but unfortunately it's way too common that a person's on a highway and some idiot in front of them makes a short stop for no reason, or for the reason of looking on the side because whatever, some guy has a flat tire, and Americans have this way of life that they have to see everything that's going on the road, and you're driving at a very fast speed, a legal speed, but it's a fast speed, and a guy slammed the brakes in front of you, and now you have to slam your brakes too, and hope when you skid you don't skid at them. It happens, right? That second or fraction of a second or second and a half, I don't know how to assess how much that time is. Is that a pleasant feeling? No, it's actually very scary because you don't know what type of bang is going to happen, and if it's going to happen, what's going to happen, and how it's going to affect you. God forbid if you go flying into the windshield or something like that, it can be very, very terrible. Imagine that feeling 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 3 years straight. Do you think you would survive that? I wouldn't. I'd end up in the best case scenario in Bellevue, probably a lot worse. No chance of surviving that. Every Israeli mother who has a son that's not in units that they whatever make coffee, in serious units, in Golani, Tzanchanim, in serious places. For 3 years straight, that's the way she feels, because she has no way of knowing where her son is. The only way she'll know if God forbid something happens to him is if a few soldiers show up at the house to break her the news. And she knows he's on combat missions constantly. She has no morning, no afternoon, no night, nothing. Now imagine a kid. He's in it himself. He's sent into the Lebanese border at night, not knowing if he's coming back. Not only that, the first day that he's sent on his first mission, he's given what almost looks like a dog tag. It's a name tag, which has an ID number, which is built against, is made of a material that can withstand heat and other things, that in case his body, excuse the bluntness, blows up, at least they should have an easier time identifying it by a serial number. And that's what he wears for 3 years. That means death is in front of his eyes, 365 days a year for 3 years straight. And we as Jews, in order to acquire one of the memchet kinyanim shaTorah niknet ben, have to be noseh be'olim chavero. Came this wonderful Jew and told me, I have no way of being noseh be'olim chavero. I never served in the army. I don't know what it feels like. I don't know what it means. I pray for them every day. I love them dearly. I respect them and everything. But at the end of the day, I went to yeshiva. My yeshiva wasn't blowing up. The greatest problem I had was there wasn't good food to eat. So I went to the kiosk to buy food instead. But that was the extent of it. Not that yeshiva is easy, don't get me wrong. These people, they learn and they give their life and they sacrifice to the tzadikei elyon. But still, that fear of the death, that element, I don't know. He said, and I came out of yeshiva and I felt guilty that I'm not doing anything in any way proactively to bring their worry and their care and their concern closer to me. So I decided to take it upon myself to raise a large sum of funds, to drive every day from place to place, to at least show these soldiers that we love them and we appreciate them and we respect what they do for us, and make their day a little sweeter by giving them candies and cigarettes, which the military disgracefully doesn't even provide for them. And at least like that, I have some connection to these kids. And then he told me a very sad ending to the story. He said that there was one soldier that he once gave a package to, whatever, a few things, whatever it was. And the next morning on the news, he saw on TV a piece, whatever, a picture. An hour after he gave him the stuff, it turns out, that's what he figured out based on the timing, whatever, this guy was stabbed to death by a post. Meaning the last happy memory that this kid had in his life before he went to Gan Eden was what this from Jew did to him being noseh be'olim chavero. Okay, now this was very morbid stuff to talk about, right? I'm sorry. But we are obligated to care about them and we are obligated to feel for them and so on. But here's where I'm going with this. Obviously I have an agenda, so here's my agenda. If you're obligated to be noseh be'olim chavero with a Jew just because he's a Jew, even though he lives in a different country, 6,000 miles away from you, how much are you obligated to be noseh be'olim chavero with your own child? And that we don't think about. Kid came home from school and he's in a bad mood. Why? Because he was thrown out of class. What's our instant response? Why were you thrown out of class? Again, you getting in trouble? What happened to being noseh be'olim chavero? To feeling what he's feeling. To feeling what his struggles in class are. To feeling how embarrassed his teacher made him today when he threw him out. To feel how evil the system is that puts everybody into a box and doesn't want to accommodate each person's individuality and each person's personality and what they need. And no, do what I say or else you're out of here. And that's the way the kid has to grow up all these years. What happened to being noseh be'ol with that?